I'm Julia Griffin, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're breaking down the script for Ghost World, written by Terry Zwigoff and Daniel Klaus. The budget of the film was about $70 million, and it made about $8.25. It was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay at the Academy Awards in 2001, and it's a coming-of-age dramedy. Some of its themes are the search for authenticity in an inauthentic world, dreams, living for others rather than living for the self, finding the self, and alienation under capitalism. The very first scene is these sad suburban, landscape, all these people through their windows, watching TV, being bored, unhappy families. And in the middle of all of this is our protagonist, Enid Coleslaw, that's really her name, dancing to this funky 1960s Bollywood music in her graduation gown. So very quickly we get the idea, she stands out, she has these odd tastes, her room is sort of a cornucopia of stuff. This was also noted in the actual screenplay. Enid and her best friend Rebecca graduate from high school. They are cynical, bitchy teens, cringing at everything, even their classmate who is in a wheelchair after a horrible accident. Enid, however, finds she must still complete a remedial art class over the summer to actually graduate. They attend a party where a classmate hits on Rebecca, ignoring Enid completely. Enid spots one nerdy guy and mentions that it's depressing to think that they'll never see him again. Rebecca doesn't even care. A few days later, Enid and Rebecca wander their town following Satanists and find the Wildsville Diner, a kitschy 1950s restaurant. And here we come to our inciting incident. They go through the personal ads in the weekly and decide to phone one of the Lonely Hearts and set up a fake date. Enid and Rebecca convince Josh, a mutual friend of theirs, to take them to the diner. They watch Seymour, and Enid begins to feel sorry for him. Seymour is the lonely heart that they have called up on the phone and tricked into coming. Basically, they catfished him. They follow him to his house, and later on they go back and find him selling records at a garage sale. Enid buys one. Rebecca specifically wants to find an apartment so she can move out on her own, and Enid has agreed to do this with her. This is something that they've planned to do together since 7th grade. Rebecca suggests that they pretend to be uptight yuppies who have a lot of money because that's who people want to sell to or rent to. Enid actually ends up sabotaging this apartment hunt by dyeing her hair green and then dressing like this little punk rocker bitch. It doesn't really work out. Everybody shits on her look, including Rebecca, and Enid says that everyone is just too stupid to get it. We meet Norman, who is this old man sitting on a bus bench waiting for an out-of-service bus. Enid asks Norman if he knows the bus isn't going to come, but Norman tells her she doesn't know what she's talking about. After everybody's shitting on Enid for having green hair, she goes and washes the dye out, and she listens to the record that she bought from Seymour. And one song on it she really connects with and listens to it over and over again. She returns to the Saturday garage sale to talk with Seymour again. Enid and Seymour grow closer. Enid's relationship with Rebecca starts to break apart. This is exacerbated by Rebecca's dedication to finding an apartment, her new job, and Enid's lack of one. Enid seeks approval from her remedial art teacher in her remedial class, who calls her work light and amusing, while her father rekindles his relationship with an old girlfriend that Enid hates, Maxine. And then we come to the midpoint, which is where Enid tells Seymour that she will help him find a girlfriend, wanting to prove that Seymour is cool because he is not like other guys. This is where we see Enid start to fight for what she thinks she wants, which is to get Seymour a girlfriend. Enid tries to find Seymour a girlfriend, and it does not go well. But they keep spending time together. Other men don't appeal to Enid the way Seymour does. He is pessimistic and cynical, an individual who doesn't care what other people think of him, according to Enid. Seymour appeals to Enid as she sees most people in the world as being fake. Enid gets and loses a job at the movie theater, further corroding her relationship with Rebecca. Enid finds an old racist logo painting in Seymour's collection of antiques and memorabilia. She takes it to her art class as a found object. Her teacher loves it and the message Enid gives. These images are shocking to us now, but once every day they were out and in the open. Enid blows off Rebecca for Seymour. While they are together, Enid confesses her crush on Josh to Seymour, and the real woman from the personals ad calls. Seymour thinks it's another joke or a catfish at his expense, but Enid convinces him to go on a date with this woman. Enid blows off Rebecca again, excited to hear from Seymour that the date with Dana went badly. But Seymour has a relatively good time with her, despite the fact that they aren't a great match. Enid tries to reconnect with Rebecca after being blown off by Seymour, but Rebecca lies and tells her she's going out with other people. Some time passes, and Enid runs into Seymour at Cook's Chicken, asking where he's been. Seymour is elliptical. Dana, the woman from the personals ad, arrives, confused by Enid's presence. Seymour has not even mentioned her to his new girlfriend. Seymour blows Enid off once more. At this point, Enid is offered two possible futures: a scholarship to art school or a job at computer station. We come here to the Act 2 fall. It's a pretty big Act 2 fall. A lot of things happen because a lot of things are happening in this movie. We have Enid searching for her future. We have her relationship with Rebecca, her relationship with Seymour, the ending of her childhood as well with the graduation of high school, and her father rekindling his relationship with Maxine, who Enid hated as a young girl. That night, during the final gallery show for her class, Enid's coon chicken piece, the racist old logo, is taken down after causing a scandal at the show, and Enid is not there to explain her piece. She is busy pursuing Seymour again, who rebuffs her, choosing Dana. Enid storms out of his apartment. On the streets, she sees Norman again. She tells him he is the only constant, the only unchanging thing in her life. Norman tells her, "That's what you think." Rebecca and Enid's conflict comes to a head, and Rebecca decides to move out on her own. Enid's dad announces that Maxine is going to move in, so sort of blowing up Enid's ability to stay with her dad in the same place she's always been. Enid attempts to accept the scholarship, but her art teacher has been forced to give her a failing grade due to the scandal over the racist logo. Enid goes to Seymour at her lowest. They get drunk, and Enid confesses just wanting to disappear without telling anyone where she's going. They sleep together. Afterwards, Seymour asks Enid if she really wants to live with him, something she suggested while they were drinking. Enid brushes this off and pretends to go to sleep. In the morning, she leaves before Seymour wakes up. Enid dodges Seymour's calls. With no other options, Enid decides to take the job at computer station from Maxine and begs Rebecca to let her move in. Rebecca accepts. Enid tries to embrace this life, what is expected of her, and the right path. Meanwhile, Seymour breaks up with Dana and gets in trouble at work because of Enid's use of coon chicken. He's worked at Cook's Chicken as one of the managers for a long time. Enid continues to dodge Seymour's calls. While moving, Enid puts on an old record, "I'll be special and I'll be rare with a smile and a ribbon in my hair." Seymour goes to Rebecca's apartment, where Enid allegedly is, according to her dad. Rebecca has been waiting all afternoon for Enid to finish moving her stuff in. Rebecca tells Seymour the truth about how she and Enid catfished him and the real reason that they have a relationship at all. She then shows Seymour Enid's sketchbook, which has a nasty doodle of Seymour waiting at Wowsville, and right across from that is this big drawing of Josh surrounded by hearts looking super hot. Convinced Enid is dating Josh, Seymour shows up at Josh's work and makes a scene. One of the other customers, Doug, assaults him, and Seymour ends up in the hospital. Enid visits him there. They reconcile, Enid apologizing and telling Seymour that he is her hero. She shows him other drawings in her book of him, like all these drawings of him that she's done to show how much she likes him. Enid and Rebecca talk one last time outside the hospital. Enid has quit the job at computer station and isn't going to move in with Rebecca. After Rebecca leaves, Enid sees Norman a final time. He gets on the out-of-service bus that supposedly never comes, taking him away to parts unknown. Seymour is living with his mother and seeing a therapist. Enid gets on the out-of-service bus late at night, leaving everything behind. Her childhood dream. Enid craves authenticity in a world she perceives as fake. It gets her in trouble often, pursuing a friendship with Seymour, getting fired from the movie theater job, and using the coon chicken logo in the art show. Rebecca often mocks and cringes at authenticity. She is drawn to regular life, an apartment of her own, things of her own, a job, aka the right path. As Rebecca begins to express what she wants, both she and Enid realize they do not want the same things. To Enid, Seymour is authenticity. His dorky interests, his bad attitude, lack of filter, and obsession with old-timey stuff.
He's the exact opposite of everything I really hate. In a way, he's such a clueless dork. He's almost kind of cool.
Enid directly refers to Seymour as being not like other guys. But after seeing him with Dana and the way she changes him and his reaction to sleeping with her, she realizes he is just like other guys. The rest of it is all just trappings. Enid is irresponsible and simultaneously wants everything to stay the same while craving change. She rejects what the world wants from her until it becomes too difficult. She sleeps with Seymour, an incredibly bad decision, and slingshots back to trying to follow the right path after making huge mistakes and losing. I read the screenplay for this as well. There was a deeper subplot with Josh and more explicit scenes of Enid being jealous of Rebecca. Maxine is also cut down significantly. In the draft I read, which is the shooting draft from February 2000, Enid actually sleeps with Josh first before she sleeps with Seymour and is disillusioned with her crush on him, particularly after Josh professes his mutual feelings for her and she finds out that he plays the guitar. Enid conceals this from Rebecca. It is Seymour who reveals it to Rebecca in Act 3, about the same time that Rebecca reveals the original catfish to Seymour. In the final scene between the two of them, Rebecca is a waitress and now dating Josh. In the script, there actually wasn't a scene of Enid talking to Seymour in the hospital at all. The therapy scene was the last Seymour scene. It is confirmed that he lost his job and had to move back in with his mother because of what Enid did. Daniel Clowes, the author of the original comic and the co-writer of the screenplay, said in a 2017 interview that the actual film itself is very different from the script we wrote. We ended up jettisoning the last 20 pages and rethought the whole thing as we were filming. It was really held together by hair and spit. Ghost World was actually the first time he had ever written a screenplay. I also went back and read the original comic just to get ready for this video. It's much more daily life. The character of Seymour actually doesn't really exist at all in the original comic. They do catfish this guy, but it's not a major plot point at all. The real core relationship in Ghost World is about Enid and Rebecca's relationship disintegrating over time. The ending is pretty similar, with Enid like getting on the bus and taking off for parts unknown without really telling anybody.
Hey guys, just realized I forgot to record the wrap-up. So that was my breakdown of Ghost World by Terry Zwigoff and Daniel Clowes. In the links below, I've included a link to the Blu-ray of this film by Criterion, the original comic book, and a couple other cool things. Full disclosure, they are affiliate links. I will get a little money if you buy through there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you will like and subscribe. Going to continue to do these breakdowns. The next one should be Sofia Coppola's The Virgin Suicides, an adaptation of Jeffrey Eugenides' novel from 1991. Again, thank you so much, and hope you have a great day. Bye.